All right, I've been meaning to make this video for a while, and this is going to be a review over Mount Whitney. Because before I went to Mount Whitney, I spent a couple hours just looking at YouTube videos and seeing the reviews and how to do it and when to do it, and you know. But I feel like nobody really got the point across about it. Maybe because I experienced it a little bit different than uh, other people, but I have things to say. So number one is I'm not an experienced hiker. I don't hike. I don't camp. I do run. So like my prep for this was running 20 miles a week. I'm quote unquote in shape, I think. And so I thought, okay, I'll go do this. Sounds like a challenge, and I think I'm ready for it. I did like a very simple mountain. I forget what it's called in Texas, East Bend or Big Bend, which is only like 4,000 feet up or whatever. And then Mount Whitney's like I don't know, 13, 14,000, I think. So yeah, it's the biggest one available. I didn't know this. I knew it. I didn't know what it meant. So the things I want to review is in no specific order is the. So I'm just gonna start. Okay. So number one is the cost to get there is actually, as a person who's never been, it kind of costs a lot. So number one, you gotta buy the plane ticket. That costs money. You gotta buy a backpack. You gotta buy hockey boots. You gotta buy the gloves and the lights and the camping gear. So just to go, like it sounds like, oh, we're just gonna travel, stay, the hotels, the car rental, the food. Like I didn't even think about this stuff. Like for me, it was like, okay, we're gonna go to Mount Whitney. We're just gonna fly there. We're gonna climb it. We're gonna fly back. But in between all that, like I think you spend. I'm from Texas, and we flew to L.A., then drove to Lone Pine. So the flight from L.A. to from Houston to L.A. is 3 hours. Then to the car to drive to Lone Pine. That's like 4 hours. So the whole trip was just traveling. It was like from the moment I woke up the day we left, it was traveling to the moment we got to the top. Then it was just traveling back. Like the whole thing is traveling. I wouldn't say it was, in my opinion, I wouldn't say it was like fun. I still don't know if it was worth it. I'm still trying to process this, but but yeah, it costs a lot to get there. Like it's not an easy thing to just do. And apparently you had to get permits. I wasn't aware of this. My friend group has been applying to get permits for many years. I think it was like 4 years. In the fourth year, they got accepted. That's why I got the invite. Like, hey, we got this permit. It's very rare to get it, or it's not that easy to get it. Do you want to come? I was like, sure. So that's that. Then, okay, now for the climb. So when I was watching videos, I was like, dude, there's some people that do it in one day. You start like at 2 a.m. and you just go, power through it, and you can be done by like 6 p.m. the next day. And I was like, it's only, again, I was running 20 miles a week. I ran a couple of marathons. And I'm like, okay, it's only a total of 22 miles. It's 11 miles up and 11 miles down. If we just wake up early enough, we can all just go do it and come down. So I was like, maybe we should just do it that way. I mean, I know we're not that experienced, but like, come on, like, how hard is it? And then, we saw videos and it was like, most of the videos said, hey, if you are not experienced, do not try to do it in one day. And then we were talking amongst our friends group, like, should we not? Should we not? We finally decided, actually, let's play it safe. Let's just do it in 2 days. So we decided to go the two-way route, which is 6 miles up, camp, leave the stuff there, go, what is it? It's 5 miles up, then 5 miles camp, 6 miles up, then 11 miles down. Well, get the stuff, go 11 miles down, go, call it, that's it, go back home. So we decided on that. And let me say right now, it was like, if we would have done the 1 dayer thing, I think I would have died. Like, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I wouldn't have died because I would have quit. I would have gave up. So what happened to me is, whenever we got there, okay, we packed, we got all our stuff ready. We had like 30 pounds on our back. No one told me that either. That it's like when you're carrying camping gear and you're carrying water and you're carrying food and all this clothes and all this stuff, and it's light, like it's considered light packing. Like that's like 30 pounds on your back. Like it's pretty heavy. So you're really, so we get there, right? We start ascending the mountain, and like every single step is like lunging. It's like, because it's like some of the track or climb is like just an uphill, right, where you can just walk. But a lot of it is like these rocks that you gotta basically stairmaster to go up. So either way, regardless, you're on an incline or you're stairmastering up, which burns with 30 pounds on your back. But initially, it was fine. Like yes, it was a struggle, but like cardio wise, I was good. Like I could do it. So I was like, all right, we're just gonna power through it. So we were going really fast. So like the first 4 or 5 miles, first 4 miles, let's call it, I was like super confident. Like, dude, this is easy. Of course it's easy. How can it not be easy? And so at some point though, I guess after I don't know what, just at some point the altitude hit me, and I could not breathe at all anymore. Like I already kind of have problems breathing just normally, but like I could not get any kind of oxygen, and like I could only go about 4 or 5 steps before I had to like sit down and do one of these, like just wait. And I would wait for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I would go again, and then I could only go like 4 steps. And I was like, dude, what the heck is going on? And what I noticed is like I could not recover. Like there was no recovery. Usually, I go for a sprint. Well, I never sprint, but I go for a jog, and then let's say I finish 3 miles. Nah, not that. Whatever. I go run, and then I stop, and I recover, and I'm like, okay, I feel good now. I'm back to at least close to regular. Or I'll do lifting, and I'll get tired in the moment, but then when I stop, 30 seconds later, whatever, like, okay, I could go again. But with this walking, like I could not recover from walking. Like a one step here, one step there, like holy crap, I'm done for. So that was when it turned like super sour. Oh my god, and there's more to it. Sour as in like I couldn't go. I couldn't walk, couldn't move. So my friends came and they helped me. They got all my stuff. They helped me carry it to our camping site where I just laid down as everybody has set things up. So that was cool. Then we ate. So we ate, I guess, for people who know, right, the packaged food that you just put boiling water in, and it actually wasn't that bad, to be honest. That was actually pretty good. But again, I just felt like motion sickness. I felt like I wasn't even hungry, and I ate, but I really wasn't hungry, and I felt like throwing up, and I felt like nauseous, and it was just awful, like this awful feeling of like sickness. I can't even really say what it was. I guess that's altitude sickness. I think, I don't know. So, anyways, and just to add a little bit for that, so we were in California, and people bought stuff, and I took a little hit of this thing, and I just started freaking out. Like I don't do that ever, but when in Rome, as they say. So that was like I had like a big trip. Like, oh my god, like the world is so small. I'm so small. The world is so big. The stars, and it was like 2.5 hours of just waiting for that to go away, and it was awful. I don't recommend doing that if you don't normally do that. I'm gung ho most of the time, but gung ho, and this time all this stuff did not pan out the way I would want it to. So if you don't do that regularly, don't do it up there because it's gonna suck. If it sucks, it's gonna suck even more. So, anyways, finally was able to go to sleep. Woke up. So we went to sleep probably like at 10. It just felt like I laid down. I think I did sleep, but it felt like I just laid down. And we woke up at 3:30 to start our thing. And I thought if I slept a couple, hours and laid down and rested, my body would get acclimated to the altitude or whatever. Like I think that's what it was. Again, I don't know if that is what it was. Um, but packed up, got all my stuff. We started heading out. Again, 4 or 5 steps, and I was like, I can't. I physically cannot move fast enough to keep up with anybody. So I was like, man, I had a friend, or actually, I just slowed down. I was like, I can't. Like, I'm just gonna go super. Actually, I didn't even think. I was just like, I can't. And one of my friends noticed. He came back, and he's like, hey, like, just go super. Like, if it wasn't for this friend, I would have quit. Like I would have quit for sure. And so the plan changed for me just to move as slow as possible that moved forward. So, I mean, I was walking probably like I think a toddler can crawl faster than how I was walking because it was ridiculously slow. And thank goodness it was dark because if I would have seen what we were climbing up of, I would have been like, no. Because it was if you're aware, it's like the 99 switchback part, which I didn't know that was what was in front of me. I was just head down, trying to doing this. No, at the time I didn't know. I was just trying to breathe, which I couldn't. I was trying to breathe and I couldn't, and my head hurt. Every like step up hurt my head. Like it would like throb because I don't know why, but it really, really, really sucked. So the majority of our friend group left. We were 10 people, by the way, or 8 or 9, something like that. 9, I think. And then me and one of my friends, we were like, okay, we're gonna go slow and steady. and we're gonna make it there because that's how he does it. By the way, my friend, he goes slow, and so shout out Oscar Lara, and so but he always gets there. So it's like, okay, well, this is his strategy. Let's just do it because there's no other option. And I was at a point where it was like, I don't want I don't want to just wait at the campground because I can't make it all the way back to the car. And if I did, what would I do anyways? And also, I don't want to wait at the campground because that's gonna be boring. So in my head, I was like, I'll just see how high I can get, and then I'll wait for them to peak and come back, and then I'll come back down with them. That was like my plan. Like, you know, that was my plan. Literally, that was my plan. But after a while of like going super, super slow, which is the key here, like just go super slow. Um, you look, the sun rose enough to like see where we were at, and it was like, oh snap, like we made progress. Like we were down there, now we're over here. The scenery's already changed, or I don't know, it changed. It wasn't, we weren't in the same place. So I was like, okay, maybe this is possible. Maybe this is something that we can achieve. Just go super slow, and that so in a sense, that was how I was able to complete it. But it's still that same scenario happened like 4 different times where even going that slow, I felt like giving up. Like I just could not move. I would have to sit down. I'd have to get talked up and to keep going. Like I would be like, I quit. Like I quit, and then just like wait it out a little bit, and then we start moving again. Like, and so yeah, it sucked a lot just going up. I can't really even explain how much it sucked, but somehow like, and then when we were like in the, let's call it 7/8 there, I was like, hey, so like where's this 99 switchbacks at? And my friend was like, oh, we already passed that. I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. Because if I thought that was like the last part of the climb, but it was the first part of the second day. So thank goodness, like I said, because if I just wouldn't have been able to make it. Um, and then the other thing that I wanted to mention was, oh, there's a part where it's supposed to be scary. Like if you look to your left, I think on the way up, it's exposed, I think is what they called it. So you could just see where you would fall for 5 minutes because it's just a cliff basically. And for me, like I was just like, I'm just not gonna look over there, like at all. I'm not gonna look over there. I'm gonna go ahead and just look at the ground, look at these rocks. I'm gonna not use my peripherals by not seeing it. And anyways, I did that because I think if I would have saw, I'd never looked on the way down either. I just didn't look because I was like, dude, it's already bad enough. I'm not about to get, because I'm kind of scared of heights. I'm not gonna like scare the goal isn't to beat the fear of heights. It's just to get to the top and get back down. Anyways, at some point towards the end, I figured out that if I did this with my nose, which looks kind of funny, if I hold my nose up like this and like breathe through one nostril, I was able to like get oxygen, and I immediately felt a difference. Like I didn't feel normal, but I felt like it was helping. Whether it was or didn't, I don't know, but I really do feel like it did help. And so doing that also helped me get to the end, and yeah, so we peaked. It was emotional, It was like, damn, that was super hard. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it, but everybody helped me out, and it was memorable to be like, okay, damn, that was like really hard. Can't believe I just did that. That was crazy. And here's the worst part: like once you make it to the top, it's like, okay, great, but now we gotta go back down. Sorry. And going down is a lot easier, but you're still, and that's not true. So like, I now know why people get up so early and like fly through it, because there was people that were just like it was nothing. It's because if you wait too long, the sun will melt the ice if there is ice. In our case, there was ice, and then the trail gets slippery. So everything's kind of wet and kind of like muddy. So we had to deal with that. But yeah, going down was a lot easier. I wouldn't say it was like easy. It was just easier than it was going up, of course. But here's where I was like, man, hold up. Is we got so anyways, so it's cold in the morning, right? And the camping thing I forgot to mention, it's pretty cold. But then once the sun comes up and the skies clear up, you're when you're coming down, like there's no shade. It's just like the sun beating on you. And that really sucks. And by the way, bring one of those water refillable things where you can I didn't bring one of these because I thought it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you can take like lake water or creek water, whatever, and you put it in this little bottle, and it'll filter it out for you so you can drink it. And if you don't have one, then you gotta use your friends. But if you use your friends, that means like it just adds more time to the to getting water. You have to like share. You have to like pour it into another bottle so that that bottle can be used, and it's just kind of a hassle. So I definitely recommend getting one of those. They're like $50, so add that to the tab, right? And so I haven't even mentioned like drinking water, but like you're basically drinking water the whole time because and actually don't even drink water. Drink water, but like the electrolytes, those really help because you have to be burning like a lot of calories. And so again, I didn't even mention this. Like the second day, I lost all my appetite. So I didn't eat nothing, but I had like a for some reason we all had Cliff Bars. I was sick of Cliff Bars. Like it was the worst. Like I can't even look at a Cliff Bar or think about a Cliff Bar. And then when we were at the top, we did make lunch, but I didn't eat, and I'm pretty sure several people didn't eat. So the second day, I didn't eat at all, like almost nothing. And then even when we had got back, like I didn't eat anything. So the second day, like it was really bad. Like I felt bad for my body because it went through a lot. But anyways, so we're going down. Once we get back to the campsite, it's like, oh, okay, cool. We made it back to the campsite. But wait a minute, we're not gonna stay here another day. We have to pack all this stuff up after we've been walking for hours up and down and freaking hot. And we've gone 6 miles up, 6 miles down, and then we gotta go 5 more miles down. So we're actually doing 17 miles the second day. And now we have to put back we now have to put back on the 30 pounds that we had on, and then we gotta walk down. And I think that was when I was like, there's no way. Like even though we peaked, which was the celebratory moment, it was like this is hell. Like we're about to go down for 5 miles, and it should probably take us 4 hours or 5 hours or I don't even remember what it was. It was like a lot of time. Where I was like, there's no way it will take us that long, but it took us that long. And then the whole time, it was a group of three this time going down, me, my other friend, and my other friend. And it was just quiet, just step, 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 get water, step, step, step. Like no talking, just awful, awful walking down. And okay, the scenery is nice. Like yes, the scenery is. There are areas that are really, really nice, and you're thrown back by like, wow, like we're on top of mountains. We're right next to the clouds, and there's greenery, there's rocks, there's water, there's waterfalls, deer, animals. What are those little raccoon things? Which were little. They weren't nice actually, but anyways, it is nice, but it sucked. Like the last 5 miles were just as awful as the second, the first going up the mountain, put it like that. And yeah, so we finally made it to the bottom. Which, by the way, of course, if you're watching this, like that you have to use a wag bag for the restroom, so you're not supposed to. There's no restrooms, there's no public restrooms. So to use number one, you just go anywhere, and to use number two, you find a rock somewhere, and you put a bag down, you pick it up, and you take it back with you. I will say that one thing to note is like it's all one trail. So like the people who are going down are the same people that are going up. Like you don't it's not like there's one route and another route. So if you're gonna use the restroom, like you gotta make sure no one's coming up or down. Just a heads up. And yeah, so once we made it all the way down, um there's like a little I don't know if it's a restaurant, but apparently they had like burgers and beer, so we ate there. And I literally couldn't eat. I got a beer, I couldn't drink it. Like I didn't eat the whole day. A good thing I drank water and stuff, but yeah, I was messed up. And it sucked because we got a hotel the day before in Lopine, but the second day our hotel was in LA because we thought we were gonna make it back in time to go out. Like what? We didn't. So we left like at 7 p.m. and we drove 4 hours back to LA and got back at 11 p.m. And we just, showered and laid down. So overall, I don't know. I don't know if it was worth it. I do like the experience with the friend group, and seeing kind of like how we all organized and worked together, that stuff. Lots of fun. Overall, I mean, it was probably worth it, but it really, really sucked. So to cap it all off, definitely do it in 2 days if you're not like super experienced. Definitely pack water, electrolytes, a light, gloves, camping stuff with the sleeping bag, the little thing that goes under the sleeping bag. Don't bring too much food. We brought like way too much food, like way too much food. So extra stuff is not worth it. um, take altitude pills. I don't know if that'll help, but take that if you need it. Don't do the California stuff if you're not usually a California stuff type of person. And yeah, have fun.